Hey everybody, it's Olive Branch from Maple Leaf once again with Let's Play Night in the Woods. Maple Leaf, do you like scary dreams?
I'm gonna say no. I had a nightmare recently, and the only way for me to get out of my nightmare was for me to kill myself. But for whatever reason, like, I had a knife, I tried stabbing myself, that didn't work. The only way to get out was to jump out a window, and I had to sit through the fall, and when I hit the ground, I shot awake.
Jesus
sort of,
Christ.
Yeah,
that's
sort of like Inception.
Weird.
Oh, I mean, you asked.
I know, but I'm saying I didn't ask if what was your scariest nightmare. I just said, did you ever have a nightmare, like a bad nightmare? Do you like them?
No, not really.
Who likes
and
nightmares,
that wasn't even
right?
my scariest, by the way.
Okay, well, we can save that for next time when we have another creepy nightmare from May because she just had a pretty bad experience. Also, going to the right now, those workers are done clearing up the road. Now we have this extra area.
Now we can look at the farming.
Do you think May could farm?
No.
No?
No.
You think she'd be bad at it?
She seems the type that's against, like, labor. I think that's one of the reasons why she left the school. It's because she didn't like the work.
I don't know if that's the right thing. I think she said earlier on it's not where I was supposed to be. Maybe she just had a depressive mental thing, not that she's averse to work in that way. Like, she's not lazy, she's just aimless, I think.
Anyway, I don't think farm life is suitable for me.
Oh yeah, especially because she doesn't like poop. Because, fertilizer.
You know, I read this in Uncle John's bathroom reader. I don't remember if I brought this up. I probably did on this series. But there's a type of coffee that's made from ground coffee beans that were excremented from animals that eat the coffee. It's some kind of fruit.
The coffee berries?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that, I think, on YouTube about, like, some people were said, here, try this coffee, and they're like, wow, this is really good, and they're like, that's called shit coffee or something like that, because it's brewed from the pooped out coffee beans.
Yeah, it's called something specific in some other language. It's not actually called poop coffee, but what they do is they feed the berries to elephants, along with a mix of other fruits, because if they try to feed just coffee beans to the elephants, then they'll get really sick real fast. But they feed them to the elephants, and then they wait for the elephant to poop it out something like 30 hours later. And then they sift through the poop for the seeds, any intact seeds that they can find, and then they use those seeds in coffee. And the reason why this coffee is good and why it's so expensive is because it has to do with the elephant's herbivore digestive tract taking away something like some of the acidic taste from coffee beans and leaving it more smoother, something like that.
Talk about getting your fix on.
I mean, if you're okay with the fact that it was pooped out, then yeah, it's apparently pretty decent coffee.
Good to know. I mean, I don't drink coffee myself, but hey, if I ever want to get some good coffee, I'm gonna get some poop coffee.
Well, they go for like $66 for 5 cups.
Damn. Well, it's a delicacy, right? So you can always make things expensive when it's a delicacy. You can just say, this is a delicacy in X part of the country or the world, and suddenly people are like, oh shit, I'll pay large amounts of money for that.
Well, yeah, but like dog meat is a delicacy somewhere.
Oh yeah, doesn't mean that you're gonna want to eat it, but I'm just saying that if you're told it's a delicacy, that justifies the price.
Which is a weird world that we live in.
You know what? There is no other world out there that we can live in, so might as well make it as weird as possible, right?
You just give it a couple years.
Give it a couple years, let it become even weirder.
I mean, we've found like 2 or 3 Earth-like planets already. It's just a matter of getting there.
Yeah, but that's on a time scale. That's going to take a while.
A couple years, like I said.
What's up, Summers? How'd you enjoy your Halloween? Because we had a shitty one.
You saw a guy or a girl get kidnapped.
Straight up murked.
That I think was real. It's bad that she's questioning herself, especially because like no one in authority will listen to her.
I like how Summer's like, yeah, you had a bad dream. Well, whatever. I had candy. Halloween was pretty sweet for me.
When you were a kid, did you like the holiday specials on like cartoons or whatever?
No, mostly because after a while I started thinking like, why don't they ever age? Why are they all? Why are they always the same? I never suspended my disbelief like that. So you ready for poetry? Drop some beats. Autumn wins. Autumn sins.
I don't think Summers is the drop the beats kind of poet.
Autumn times, autumn crimes.
There you go.
What counts as an autumn sin? What's considered an autumn crime?
I'm more interested in the first one.
Well, I went with the second one simply because May was like, May's the criminal type, so she's not religious. I'm just like, hey, what is an autumn crime? Considered to a regular crime.
Them blowing it up.
Okay, robbing a gas station and blowing it up.
I mean, it would be easy in November. Why November specifically?
Because it's a fall month, I guess.
I mean, December is mostly a fall month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. Break your fall. Just like that one scene in Austin Powers. I mean, they'll both be fine. You too.
Oh gosh. Leaves, leaves, leaves.
It can be.
If you're, what's his face? Who was that guy who was, I can't remember the poet's name, but he always wrote, like, everything in lowercase letters. He wrote that one poem, like, about how the moon rattles like a fragment of angry candy. I can't remember, like, very, very basic, very just sound of words kind of poetry. Miss May Borowski. Sup, Teach?
This is a terrible night for stargazing.
Well, just because it's rain doesn't mean you can't telescope. I mean, it's just gonna be shitty telescoping.
You're just gonna look straight at the clouds.
Yeah, it's a cloudy day, but you know what? Maybe that telescope is like, you know what? Fuck clouds. Just go straight through.
That's not how light works.
You want to see some stars? Well, shit, we're gonna do it, dude. We're gonna say F you to physics. Maybe this is like a kind of like a scattered rainstorm, and he's pointing it straight at an open area.
Well then, that's some shitty stargazing.
How does May keep falling for that? Like, she just says, oh yeah, I got, you know, you hear once burned, twice shy. She's like, once burned, twice burned, thrice burned, maybe fourth time's the charm. She's not gonna get blinded by the sun.
Why does the Teach keep pointing it directly at the sun?
Because he keeps thinking May's gonna be an idiot. Big snake. Snake? Snake?
That's a big snake.
That is a big snake.
It's got a lot of arrows in it.
I saw a big snake once. That sounds better than really or anything else. Tell us about it, a little bit more about your past, May. You know, sunning itself on our. Have you ever seen a snake just chilling out there?
Where I live, there's a place called McNabb's Island, and there's a very particular breed of snake there that you can't find anywhere else on the world. And the reason for that is because when the original pilgrims from Europe came over from the Old World and they landed on Nova Scotia, they brought their breed of snake with them. And that snake was dropped off at McNabb's Island when the pilgrims made it there. And that snake died everywhere else, but they managed to survive on McNabb's Island because it was so isolated.
A little bit of Galapagos Island evolution kind of style going on.
They're not poisonous, there's a whole lot of them, and apparently they're moderately friendly towards humans, or at least they're not afraid of them.
Sounds like dodos then, no wonder the other ones died. Together, the villagers slew the big snake. Big snake.
Because it was hungry.
Well, big snake is a big snake. Do you have sympathy for the big snake? Big snake. Big snake.
That's a big snake. did the snake attack? I want to know.
Well, because snakes are gonna snake, dude.
Well, that's snakeist.
That's speciesist. Just because a snake is a snake doesn't mean it's gonna attack unless you're a scorpion.
That guy's drunk.
That's what I thought too. I thought he was just stinking up, but apparently not. All of these stars look like hobos.
You think it's intentional?
Possibly. Like they're all turn to medium. They're all relics of the past, so they all look kind of shabby. Oh, he was a necromancer.
Or a spiritualist.
Well, that's what he's called. He's a medium. But when he died, his own spirit returned and spoke through him.
Alright, so no change then.
May agrees.
That's just called being alive. No, it's just called being alive.
That's what I went with. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, was he just unconscious and he came back and was like, I have died and come back to life. I'm such a good medium.
I knew a girl that was on the operating table. I forget what. Something to do with her veins. She was technically dead on the operating table, and then she was revived something like a couple minutes later. And she said that she was really disappointed because she didn't get to see like a light at the end of the tunnel or anything like that.
It was just darkness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was dead for it, so.
He was a zombie. He was like normal, but he smelled bad. Well, yeah, but you know, if you don't bathe, you get a zombie-like smell too, you know.
Well, there you go. They just make anyone kind of make anyone into a star.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how dumb your backstory is. If they're like, we need a story for this star. And there you go. What's the moral for this one? Not all star stories have morals.
I mean, the big snake was just a big snake.
Stranger Things, man. That's the moral?
That's it. That's politics. Yeah.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. Well, gee willikers, Mr. Chazikov. Who even came up with that?
Chazikov?
No, gee willikers.
Oh,
That is such a weird comment to make about, like, wow. Instead of saying, I mean, even wow. Wow sounds a bit like normal because it's like, it sounds like a sound someone would make of, like, amazement. You know? But gee willikers? That's just silly.
Sounds like something that came from the 70s.
Also, I think they made a mistake here. He called that star Turn, but May wrote down Gramercy. Maybe this is like a different version of the script. That's kind of a dumb question, May.
Well, it's an actual one.
Oh, there you go. She corrected herself. So there's our hint. Only a few more stars left to go. We found like 6 already. Alright, good to know, Mr. Chazikov. Have a good day.
How many stars are there in the universe?
More than there are grains of sand on all the beaches in the world combined, apparently. That's the metaphor, or the comparison we always keep hearing.
You know, when you put it in that sort of scale, there aren't a whole lot of grains of sand in the world. Just when you compare them to how many stars there are in the universe, because there's a whole lot of stars in the universe.
Oh yeah, but there are also a whole lot of freaking beaches in the world.
Well, yeah, but not nearly enough to accommodate all the stars. If that sentence makes any sense.
It does, I guess. It does if you're saying like, well, consider all the stars in all the universe and consider all the beaches and all the grains of sand. Maybe because the idea just being that we're looking at a beach and we think, wow, that's a lot of freaking stars, you know?
So we're looking for the other missing poster.
That's what I was thinking about, but instead the Harfest poster is gone because, Harfest is done. So, apparently there has been no missing person report filed, which strikes me as a bit weird.
Maybe nobody loved the person that was kidnapped?
They're like, oh, they're gone, thank God. Or maybe they have a history of just effing off for a while and coming back days later?
Possibly.
Fish guy's not here.
Need to steal more pretzels. No need for Mama to feed them.
Yeah, I guess 4 feedings and the rats are good. So there you go. If you wanna just explode rats all over the place, just grab 4 pretzels, throw them at them once a day, and there you go. You have a rat infestation. We live and learn. What's up, teens?
Is anyone missing?
It's nice that May is actually worried about these kids. For all their shit, I think she still feels a good kindred spirit with them. So yeah, you were saying earlier that May's questioning herself. It's possible that she really just imagined it, but then again...
No, that's absolutely something that we should be holding to, that she absolutely saw what she saw.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this game started out very much like, small town life, coming back, growing up.
Maybe she's just going stir crazy.
Do you think that people living in small towns go crazy, like just from living there day to day? I mean, again, I'm referring to thread here, people saying like they grew up in small towns and literally there was nothing to do, so... I can't remember the guy's name, I'm sorry for not remembering your name off the top of my head because, we're just kind of doing this live. He mentioned, or maybe she mentioned that, growing up in these small towns, they had nothing to do, so they would literally do stupid stuff as a way to get some entertainment out of life. Including, like, literally going on their pickup truck and driving for 2 hours or many hours on end and calling it cruising, even though there's only, like, 2 blocks in the village.
We're not doing this live. You could just look it up right now.
I'm not pausing the video to go look it up. I'm sorry.
You don't have to pause the video.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to get distracted to just look it up.
Excuses, Olive Branch.
Excuses. Clearly, I don't care enough about my viewers to worry about that.
Clearly.
Let's go see what Pastor Karen and moms are up to. Sup, moms? Let's go. She even here? Oh yeah, she's here.
Why would you ask that? You hadn't even gotten to the end of the hall.
Yeah, I know, but
Also, you knew you played this.
Oh yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, because after that fight last night, you'd think that May and her mom would kind of be avoiding each other. But then again, May's the one barging in, going like, "Hey, mom, what's up?"
I mean, they kind of talked it through.
That's true. I find it very enriching to wake up on Saturday morning. Oh Christ,
Sunday morning.
I'm not religious, so you know that my sleep is precious to me. I'm not waking up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. Or more earlier to get to church.
Did you ever go to church in your life?
I've gone to church before as a kid, like May, but that's because I had my grandmother on my parents' side, my father's side, was very Catholic. Like, we're talking really Catholic. But the funny thing was, of course, this being Brazil, there was a blend of, like, Catholicism combined with the weirdest friggin' voodoo / mystic stuff from the African population. So she totally believed in like black magic as well as Catholicism. Which you'd think, those beliefs kind of don't coincide because Catholicism is like all that other shit is pagan heathen shit,
I guess it kind of makes sense.
What, that God is fighting the forces of darkness and these are the forces of darkness?
No, just that magic is real.
It's like black magic, but God is there to protect you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It makes sense to me that people could believe both.
Yeah, but you'd think that if you're like, the whole point, I thought, of Christianity and Catholicism is saying all that other stuff is not real. And if you believe in it, you're basically committing a sin because you should be believing only in God, the Christian God and all that, you know?
I mean, that is one of the commandments.
Yeah. But in any case, she always dragged my ass to church and made me pray before bed, and I'm like, I don't like this. And my mom was totally against it. My dad was too, but, you know, my grandma was kind of going senile and was a very forceful will. So, I didn't turn out for the worst. I just always thought it was kind of weird. But I never really got into church. I mean, every time I go to church, I appreciate the aesthetic, but I never feel any sort of spiritual uplifting, you know? Do you think it's wrong to take something when folks don't want you to take it?
That's called stealing.
Well, I think it's more Bruce's sense of, like, it's charity, but it's grudging charity. And it's like someone says, oh yeah, you can totally take that, but you can tell in their heart of hearts, they're like, please don't take that. Do you feel weird about it?
I mean, I guess I'd have to know the context of what they're talking about in the first place.
Well, we can guess in this case that it's obviously Bruce being given a place to sleep or whatever that's not out here in the friggin' woods. And he's like, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable taking stuff when people don't want me to.
Well, whose shelter is he taking from? Whose shelter is offering him, or who is offering him shelter?
The city council, I guess. I dreamed it was a pizza.
Well, that is a common fear.
Someone's gonna cut you?
Yeah, someone would slice you.
I wonder how you'd taste. If you were a pizza, what flavor pizza would you be?
Pineapple, of course.
Just going back to that discussion, pineapple pizza?
If I were a pizza, I'd probably be a Meat Lovers. Either that or a Canadian.
What is a Canadian pizza?
It's pepperoni, ham, those sausage chunks, and mushrooms.
Hmm. And you think what you were saying earlier? About you being a pizza?
It's just that I'd be either a Meat Lovers or a Canadian.
Oh, okay. I think I would probably be some sort of like fancier pizza, like one of those California Pizza Kitchen kind of pizzas.
Of course you would, Olive Branch.
I'm frickin' high class, bro. I have olives all over my pizza. Then again, I'd probably just be a plain old mozzarella with plenty of oregano and tomatoes, because I love that. The meeting coming up. Do you think we're gonna crash it? I haven't played that far, so I'm asking you now, honestly not knowing.
I mean, nothing seems to go on in Possum Springs without May knowing about it.
Yeah, May is the, there's like, what do you call that person? She's like the factotum, or maybe she's just like someone who's like, hey, you're always gonna be witnessing everything because you are the visionary.
I don't know, called a visionary?
She's like the town crier or something. Like nothing can be witnessed. Oh, she's the witness. Everything that happens in town, she must witness because that's what her job is.
Man, a job like that must be brutal. If it were real.
To drop? Well, there are plenty of real ones.
No, to be a witness.
Oh, to be a witness. Oh yeah, it's like you have to see everything that happens in the world, or anything that happens in your city.
Or at least in, like, even your district.
Ugh. You have to run around being like, is anything happening here? No? Okay.
That would be very stressful.
Someone calls you up and is like, hey, you gotta come witness this fight. They're holding out the fight until you get here. Come over here quick.
Although, it would have its moments of excitement. Like, if there were well, let's just say hypothetically there was a witness on a certain airline recently where the airline forcibly removed one of its passengers.
Bashed their head against the armrest.
Hypothetically speaking. It would have been good to have a witness, or however many were on the plane at the time.
Well, it's a good thing that they had some, and they also filmed it. Or it's some bullshit.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Well, that's just morbid, mate.
Do they make... I guess that's a stupid question.
You're gonna ask, do they make statues of soldiers who are still alive or whatever?
Well, just people who are still alive.
Alive? Well, I think as art, yes. As memorials, probably not.
Take the railroad to Canada.
She's gonna join the resistance.
It's against the war. She's gonna be a hippie.
She's gonna grab her pussy hat. Get it? Okay, no. She's gonna go underground. Always on the run.
Isn't that a crime to avoid conscription?
If drafting, yes. Yeah, I think if she got drafted, yeah, she'd be totally committing a crime, but it'd be even a bigger war to just, like, go out, straight out sabotage shit.
Well, yeah, that makes her a domestic terrorist.
But hey, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, right? She would be a conscientious objector with a lot of objections.
Well, now that you've said that on the internet, you might be on some kind of watch list.
Well, shit. Hey, what's up, FBI? Hope you're enjoying my Let's Play. I'd wish the NSA a good one too, but, you know, NSA sucks, so fuck them.